Wanted to show you something new that we just pushed to RightMessage that I think is pretty cool. And I think once you see it in action, you'll get a good idea of how you could use this probably, with your own, especially with sales copy that might be on your website. So what I've done is I'm looking now, I'm working on my own site, W Freelancing, and I'm dog fooding RightMessage on it, which is the coolest feeling in the world. And I've set up a few different personalizations that are going to affect this this initial headline here. So the default headline that the server sends back is, "Are you ready to join the best community of business-minded freelancers?" Well, I track things like the team size, meaning are they an agency or are they a freelancer? And I also track what kind of work they do. So do they do design work, development work, and so on. So what I've done is I've added a personalization that will change the headline if they are an agency. So let's look at what I'm doing real quick. So I'm saying if the team size field and trip is set to agency, we're then going to change we're going to swap out the word freelancers with agencies. So again, what that looks like is just we're swapping out best community of business-minded freelancers to best community of business-minded agencies. And the cool thing is, you'll notice that we're not actually replacing the inner content. What we're doing is we're doing a find and replace right here. We're still working on this interface, but what this does is it allows you to do basic find and replaces scoped to a selector or a set of matching selectors, or even something like the body tag, which would change the whole page. So what that's doing here again is it's changing the this headline to business-minded agencies if they are a agency. Now, let's say they're a designer. Well, what we would want to do here is if business type is set to designer, we'd want to change this. So I actually don't want to change the inner HTML. What I want to do is I want to swap out any instance of freelancers with freelance designers, right? So if they are a freelancer, it'll change this headline now to, "Are you ready?" Or if they're a freelance designer, it'll change it to, "Are you ready to join the best community of business-minded freelance designers?" Then if they're agencies, which could be set from that previous personalization, I want to change it to design agencies. So can't see that in action yet, but let's say that both conditions trigger. So I have the team size custom field condition, and I also have the business type custom field condition. So if the top one triggers, it's going to first run this personalization, which will change this headline to be best business-minded agencies. But then if this one gets triggered, it's now going to change to business-minded design agencies. And again, if they are a freelancer and a designer, they'll see business-minded freelance designers. So you can see, this is just a good example, I think, of how, given a block of copy where you might have phrases or keywords or whatnot, you could progressively modify the underlying copy based on certain criteria, based on certain segments being true. So that's what we just pushed literally today to RightMessage. If you have any ideas on how we can make either the interface a little simpler to use. I know we have some work to do with specifically this interface. We're working on this, but any thoughts, any opinions you've got, I'd love to hear them.